What's the story, everyone? Today we are staying inside the confines of this year 2026 by having a look at one of Savannah's wavemates, a figure so popular that it single-handedly put Metal Cardboard Wild on a lot of people's radar. Everyone's lovable, hyperactive speedster, Tachy. If there is one thing to say about Tachy's car mode, it's that it overflows with character and personality. You look at this car mode and it instantly tells you three things about them. They're cute, they're fast, and they're a cheetah. The car is colored in black and yellow, most notably the large black stripe on the hood that splits apart and forms these swishy looking wings on the front. To break up Tachy's color palette, the God-brave designers used white and orange in key parts to complement the looks. As you would expect from a cheetah car like this, it also features a few spots along the side. While it surely would have been easier to just paint those on, I commend them for going the extra mile and actually mold the spots into the sculpting. Speaking of the sculpt, what works the most for me about this car is how many of the parts are layered on top of each other to make the car look much more interesting and a lot less flat than it could have been. After a fast but fun transformation, you are left with the most unique looking robot mode in all of Metal Cardbot. Since most robots in the show are designed to be male presenting, it instantly captures your attention when they throw a female presenting body type into the mix. Quite typical for a female presenting transforming robot figure, a lot of the car mode ends up on their back as a backpack. This is no Kingdom RC situation though, since the rest of the figure still does enough transforming, especially thanks to the legs, that at least for me it ends up not being much of a big deal. Being inspired by track and field athletes, a lot of their sculpt features nods to that, like the little running shoes or the upper body meant to resemble a runner's top. Another interesting part of the design that a lot of people seem to miss is the black hair peeking out from inside the helmet, a direct nod connected to the character Naeri from the classic Korean cartoon and comic series Run Honey. The one thing most will definitely notice about Tachy's design though are their massive thighs. Odd looking at first, they have really grown on me. They make sense for a speed type character, and since Tachy's upper body is so slender, they nicely balance out all the bulk coming from the backpack. So time to look at how all of this moves around on Tachy. Tachy is, right off the bat, incredibly posable. She really struck me when I first got her, because I was used to look up what's like, look up, we look dead, which does not have a huge range of possibility on only like the bare essentials, and even the other couple of wild figures were hit or miss depending on which one you got. But this one, this is the whole package in terms of possibility. So we're gonna look at the head first, which is basic for Metal Cardbot, just the stem with the ball at the end that goes into the torso. So we got a nice range of head articulation, moves side to side, moves back a little, and then moves down quite a lot. The shoulders are nice and clicky. They go outwards, inwards. They rotate 360, well, not quite since the backpack is in a way. They are nice and clicky, but it's not a heavy and loud click, it's more of a buttery smooth kind of click. which I really appreciate, because since the figure is quite small for Metal Cardbot standards, doesn't feel like you're about to rip her arm out or something like this. The elbows go a little bit over 90 degrees, they're only hinged, so no ratchet in there. Ball jointed fists, they move around like this, they can turn around, you get a lot of range out of these. Then, which is nice, first of all, backpack moves out of the way, and then she got a full 360 waist articulation, which definitely helps with a lot of her running poses. Got a tail, which has a ball joint at the end for moving around and can be twisted. The tail is designed with multiple segments, but none of them move. It's only on this hinge that you can move the tail around. Probably would have been nice to have all of these move individually to have the tail a little bit more posable, but given that this figure costs about like 30 bucks in Korea, I see why they didn't do that, and it keeps it nice, chunky and basic. The hips are also ratcheted, again, nice buttery clicks, not too heavy, not too loud, doesn't take much of effort to move them, just as clicky and smooth in the thigh rotation. And then the knee joints are incredibly deep, because for transformation you fold the leg inside the thigh, like completely, so you get a lot of knee movement out of this. And then down here you got the ankle, which twists around, and then you get nice ankle pivot. So yeah, Tachy is incredibly posable. The, well, most posable Metal Cardbot has ever been, and you get nice poses out of this one. Like, it's very, very fun to pose around. Okay, time to change up and for Tachy to finally fully set up. Equipping Tachy with a Sonic Runner card weapon is super easily done. You simply open them up and clamp them around Tachy's ankles. Extra bonus points for the little tabs that go into the front of the shoes for some extra stability. In addition to that, you pop off parts of the backpack to give Tachy some added weaponry in form of the cheetah knuckle. Nice touch, the claws pop out on their own when you turn the paws into position. Last but not least, fold down the cheetah mask on their forehead to complete the look. Adding all of this really changes Tachy's overall vibe, making them look much more serious and ready for battle. The added bulk on the legs meshes really well with the thighs and balances out the proportions. The new feet are just as posable as Tachy's regular ones, with large heel spurs making sure that Tachy keeps the balance in most situations you can put them in. Only thing that bugs me a bit is how you have to unplug Tachy's feet to actually access a lot of the range in the Sonic Runner. The Sonic Runner also shares some details with Tachy's car mode, bringing back the black wings from the car's bonnet. While not much is lost in terms of posability when equipped with the card weapon, you can't access the full range of the knee joint anymore because of the added bulk. The addition of the cheetah knuckle on Tachy's arms further helped to bulk up the silhouette to make the large legs a lot less distracting in this mode than they otherwise could have been. I only wish the claws could have been a tiny bit longer, since depending on what angle you view them from, they are kinda hard to make out sometimes. The fold down cheetah battle mask is another neat touch the designers added to convey that this is Tachy when they mean absolute business. Excuse the pun, but Tachy absolutely hit the ground running when they were released earlier this year, and it's easy to see why that was. Not only are they immediately recognizable thanks to being the only overt female looking design in Metal Cardbot, they are also just an incredibly well made figure. All of their modes are a perfect slam dunk, even if I'm a little bit partial to a vanilla robot form. Their posability is absolutely outstanding and sets a new bar for what a Metal Cardbot figure can achieve. They are an absolute game changer, and if Tachy is any indication for what a potential 4th season of Metal Cardbot could look like, then I'm really looking forward to it, cause it could be a bright one.